in this event,
Okay.
trying to escape the underworld. Hades has kind of pulled everyone down and is trying to take everyone's worshippers, and so you have to kind of fight down there and escape this event.
Okay. So
Trying to
new
escape the
items in this
underworld.
patch, part of the underworld event. There is going to be other things as well. They're going to be available, but we can cut to your camera again. We should be able to see actually in game, correct?
Yeah, so we can
Of
see
how
what
it
it kind
should
of looks
look.
like in game, and then we can kind of go into detail about how this works.
And we can actually see exactly what sort of skins and items you're going to be able to get available for this. So some things during this event will be to do with actually purchasing it through gems. However, there's quests that will unlock free things as well.
Yeah, so let's kind of go through how this works. Is you have your unlocks, which are your Grim Wraith Hades.
Yep.
You got your Grim Horseman, which is your Guan Yu, and then the Underworld frame, which you can have and load in. And so these are all available in 3.6, with the additional content coming out in 3.7, kind of like how we ran our Summer Smite event.
Okay.
Where things will unlock in the future. As you can see, you got Grim Weaver, which we saw the Arachne on the website. We got Grim Eclipse, which is Hu Yi, which was said on the website.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got Grim Shadow, which is the final reward, which is going to be Nox.
Right.
These aren't in the game at the moment, so we can't
Nox,
show them off
final
yet, but
reward,
that will be
ew.
something that we talk about maybe next patch notes.
Okay. So the first three in that unlocks they're all gem related, is that correct?
Yep, so you can buy them through gems. And then additionally, you can get some rewards through quests.
Right.
So when you go to your quests, you'll actually have sudden death. So the first quest is get 10 wins in the bonus round arena, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
We will.
And so if you complete that quest, you'll get the trapped icon.
Right.
And then if you go to From the Nether, you're going to get a music theme, which will come out the next week. And then the next week after that, you'll have Escape, which will last for 2 weeks, which is another event to try and get the escaped icon.
Okay.
And I think the really cool thing about this is kind of twofold. Is one, these quests are time specific, so the trapped one will only be for the first week of the event.
Okay.
Then the next week we'll go to From the Nether, which means trapped is over. You can't do that anymore.
Right.
So if you don't complete it during that time, you actually won't be able to get the reward. So it's very specific to if you participate to the event.
So just to be clear, if you're at home and you unlock this, you have to complete the quest that week.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will not be able to go back and do that quest again.
Correct.
You have to complete it the same week that you unlock it and get it that week.
Correct.
Cool. And then this week 2's quest, you have to do the same thing.
During week 2.
And then week 3 will last 2 weeks actually.
Yes.
But week 3 you'll have to complete that quest as well.
Yes.
And if you complete all 3 of those quests, they do count towards the final reward.
Yeah. So that's one of the cool
which is
things
6 unlocks.
is if you just kind of want to participate a little bit, or maybe kind of. If you want to get like maybe 3 items, and then
that's
you don't
interesting.
really like the other 3 items, you kind of want to do the quest. You can do the quest.
Yep.
You can actually get the final reward, Grim Shadow, half through quest, half through buying into it. If you want to just get everything, you can obviously just buy everything and you get the reward. But this one actually gives something extra to people who want to maybe unlock something in quest.
So say I never played Hades as an example. I could just do Grim Horseman, get the Underworld frame, and
That's interesting,
unlock
man.
the
I'm gonna lose so
Arachne
many
skin,
gems
say,
from this shit.
Like Holy Eva, and then do the 3 quests, and I get the Nox skin as well.
Yes, you're set.
Understand. So the unlocks are all gem related. Do we have a price on those at all?
I believe these are all 400. I'm not sure of some of
400
the other costs
gems
for, like, the
each?
Underworld bundle.
Okay.
But the
What the
skins are all buying at 400, I believe.
The skins are currently
Hi
400.
Res, what are
Yes.
you doing?
That's all I know for now, guys. So we'll
That'd
let
be
you keep
four-
you
make
updated
shit
more.
cheaper,
Obviously,
you
you'll be able to
fuck.
tell as well how
Holy
much those will
crap.
be. And there's a little look at that, but we do have the arena event as well, which you mentioned.
Yes.
Now the arena event is going to be, in addition to the standard arena, is the big key here, just to mention. You're going to play your
Oh my
normal arena
goodness.
games. Win or lose, you will win or lose the favor that you would have got, and you would get the same amount of worshippers for that. However, at the end of every single arena, for just this 4-week period, is it?
Yes, just for this 4-week period, it's the normal arena queue.
And after the game ends, you will be entered immediately into a special arena matchup, which will pit you and your team against the enemy team in a basically sudden death mode.
Yeah.
Is the
So
best way I can describe it.
so we can hop
Oh
in.
my god, that looks so pretty.
Yeah, so we can hop in and kind of show off this new arena.
Holy
I'm
crap.
sure some people saw the spoiler, but here it is, kind of live and in-game. Hades has taken the arena to the underworld, and
Yes,
so now
he
you're fighting
has.
there. You're underneath the cave. You got lava coming out everywhere. You got his kind of mech tentacle things grasping onto the arena, and
Yep.
they pulled it down. And even when you look at stuff, there's lava cracking through.
So this is what the standard arena will look like for the next 4 weeks, basically.
Yes.
Right. And then after that, we'll play through the normal arena, and we might get a chance to see it, will we?
Yes, so let's see
This
if I can
actually
do
really
this.
cool looking.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, Townie.
We'll see.
Okay, so
Lowest tickets to 1 and cheat. This is how you win all your arena games, Pompon.
yeah, this is how I do it.
I had a feeling. I've seen you before.
And then we can just
One.
kill Odin.
Poor Odin.
And so I think the thing to note here is you see that I'm going to have a victory pop up.
Right, because you
win. The important thing about this is I've won arena, I get my victory.
Correct.
This bonus round has no impact on whether you win or lose when it comes to the final score.
Right.
All the bonuses is if you win the bonus round, you get the bonus favor, or bonus worshippers is what it is.
This is awesome!
Yeah, so you go to this bonus round.
It's a little circle.
And then you get to fight your enemies here to
see.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Okay, does that lava instantly kill? Or is it a time tick? Is my question.
We'll walk in and you can see how much it does and how fast it does it.
Okay.
So you can see I'm
500 a tick.
Very fast.
If you're going to step in lava, you're going to have a bad time. If you've ever played
if you have an ability that fucking pushes people and shit, throw them into the fucking lava, you're so back, you just chuck them into the lava.
If you kill everyone else on the enemy team, what'll happen is you won.
You win the game.
Yes, you win the bonus round.
Right.
So, for example, I can win the arena but then lose the bonus round. I still won the arena. I still get the victory for the arena.
Okay.
But I don't get the bonus worshippers.
Now, one of the quests on that is to win 10 games in the bonus round of the arena. So, if you're intelligent, you build your composition around the bonus game, right?
Yeah, so
you don't care about arena. You build rubbish for the arena, but then you get everybody with throws.
We've done this in internal playtests. We played this a lot because we found it to be a lot of fun, and there was a lot of screaming during it. And people would draft things like Fenrir, Jingtian, Hercules, and chuck people into lava, and it's pretty effective. They might not have won the arena, but they definitely won the bonus.
Just realized we did discuss this off air, and I'm very interested now. The items that you had at the end of the arena, is that all you get for the start of that?
Yeah, so when you go to the bonus round, what happens is you're restored to full health, full mana. If you're dead, you're revived. And then you will go to the center, and all your cooldowns are reset.
All your cooldowns are reset. So any items you had from the arena will stay?
Yes.
And any relics that you had will stay?
Yeah, so if you win the arena and you have a higher level and higher build, you actually do have the advantage going into that mode.
Yeah, no fucking duh, dude.
So if you can win arena and
win the arena, and you want to win the fucking bonus round, just stomp the arena.
Underworld event.
Try hard shit incoming, boys and girls.
The next
I play some arena.
3.7, there'll be more content to do with the Underworld, as we saw the Hoyi, Arachne, and further things will probably be revealed.
Yes.
Potentially, and we'll be able to give you more detail about those. But that's the first look at the Underworld. I'm very excited for that. It's a lot of fun. It's a little twist that we've done.
Yeah, I know. We've had a lot of fun just kind of like talking about the event, and it's one of like the really big things we've been able to like do the whole new mode and have the new art and new game type at the end, where it's like, oh, you have this bonus round where you have to kill each other, as well as some really cool skins, especially for some gods who haven't seen some in a while. So.
I mean, Arachne, Guan Yu. That's someone said it on one of the Reddit threads. Was like Arachne, Guan Yu, and Hades, 3 gods that have been desperate for skins.
Okay, those are 3 gods that needed skins, but they give them all the same fucking style skin. That's dumb.
Did it?
Be unique, Hi-Res. Be unique.
But now it's time to move on to the parts we may not do so well. Or maybe we do. We'll find out.
I think we do okay.
We'll do okay.
Well here.
It's time for items.
Yeah.
First up. Well, no.
What are they doing to items?
First?
What
are you doing?
You want to do the misc first?
Okay. We can do the misc.
We'll start with miscellaneous on the patch notes. Obviously, there is a new god this patch. We'll get to that eventually. It's not a big thing. We've done the important stuff already, which is the Underworld. That's the main thing. But the most important thing for me right now is miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. We have fixed a bug where going to the god builder from any god would load up the god builder for Amaterasu.
Yeah, Amaterasu just really wanted kind of a spotlight and stole all the god builder stuff. So we told her to stop.
Good job. And also fix an issue where god models would not show when random pick in custom matches.
Yep,
when using random pick in
yeah, so just a bug that we fixed.
Awesome. Next up is achievements, where things
no one cares about achievements either.
Anher up against the wall as Anher stunned 10 opponents by impaling them into your pillar.
Yep.
Is that in a single game?
I believe that's just overall.
Oh.
Just do it. Get the combo.
You'll eventually do it if you just keep playing.
Yeah.
Let me know your record at home of how many games it takes you to actually get that achievement, and the one with the worst record will get a cookie. As well as that, we'll also see the Fury of the Desert, as Anher killed 3 enemies with a single Desert Fury.
Yeah, so that one's a little bit harder.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But you can get that in a lot of the same ways that you get like the Poseidon one with the Kraken comes up. You have the maybe Ares pulls.
I don't care about the achievements, man.
Fernando Ares can do it.
Fernando Ares. And if you want to know how to get Fernando Ares, I'll say it now because I'm sick of seeing it today from everybody. Have the Paladins Founders Pack, and you'll have Fernando Ares unlocked in your Smite game. Yeah.
There you go.
Job done, 2 in 1.
Job done.
Even the Paladins team would be happy with that one. Next up is Nemesis. Those are my protections. As Nemesis steal away 500 protections using Divine Judgment during a single match.
Yeah, so ult
that's easy as fuck. Literally just ult over and over and over again.
Which we lowered last couple of patches ago, I think, 2 patches ago.
At some point, yeah.
So there you go. Job done.
Yep, we did it.
Easy game, easy life. Back at you as Nemesis kill an enemy using the damage reflect from Retribution.
Ooh, yeah, there's always a fun time to kill someone
are so
with, like,
easy.
the damage reflect. I think the best one's like if Nua's ulting and then like she's at 50 health and then you reflect the damage back. It's
I can see people throwing games trying to make that work.
I have seen
changes
like the days where everyone's like, oh, I'm just gonna pick Nua and ult, and then everyone picks Nemesis.
Luminous Flex.
Like, way back when we had Shield
and
they just pop all that and they immediately kill the Nua team.
Rest in peace, Shield of the Underworld. Miss it. Next up is Vulcan. That's a spicy meatball. That was my F-dot impression.
Spot on.
Just so you know, I was pretty close. As Vulcan, kill an opponent with backfire while they're knocked up in the air from Magma Bomb.
Yeah, so this is like the standard combo, but this is
combo.
It's kind of one of the roles of achievements. Is it can teach maybe a mechanic.
Yeah.
And so that combo is one of the kind of standard combos, and so
that's what these achievements should be: is teach them combos.
Yeah. Execute the combo, get the achievement.
Yeah. As Odin, Bird Bomb, then press ring. Then press 3, then walk out of the ring. That should be the achievement.
There you go.
Perfect. And the last one for Vulcan, locked and loaded. As Vulcan, kill an enemy with your ultimate at the maximum distance. So that's kind of just like ult Fire Giant and Golf Fury over and over and just hope.
Yeah, it's the standard Vulcan play where like the enemy team's taking the Fire Giant and you're just like, you know what? It's going. We're going to fire it and pray.
Fire and pray. Fire and forget. And with that, that's the end of the achievements.
Too many items.
Move on.
Items.
Our next favorite thing is item changes.
This is actually, I think all of these are really fun.
Fun?
Yeah, these are all really fun.
Sometimes, Pon, your estimation of fun isn't always
Spellbound.
I don't know. I think
sometimes it's crazy.
I think these are fun. Crazy isn't necessarily not.
I never said it wasn't.
There's a phrase there. Basically, they're not mutually exclusive. There we go.
Okay.
That's the phrase.
Well, let's see how mutually exclusive they are this week on these patch notes. First of all, Spellbound Kasari no longer provides crowd control reduction.
Yep. So this is actually
something.
Yeah, this is actually coming up to a different change further along the list.
Which is Genji's Guard?
Genji's Guard. We actually...
Oh, Genji's Guard.
Yes.
We've not changed it. Okay.
Isn't Genji's Guard?
We fixed that. You got things that have Garb and Guard and gets muddled, but it's Genji's Guard.
Genji's Guard. With this, it's no longer going to provide crowd control reduction. It now has 10% cooldown reduction.
Yep.
And it's also got a new passive. When you take magical damage from abilities, your cooldowns are reduced by 2 seconds.
What the
This
fuck?
can only occur once every 30 seconds. However, this will not trigger if all your cooldowns are up.
Yep.
And it's also got a cost decrease from 2400 to 2200. This is a lot of changes.
Wait, what else is on it?
Very, very
what defense is on it?
So I think the idea here is when we looked at what it used to do, it was kind of this situation where it's like, okay, we want characters to build this to be able to have more sustained fights with like maybe mages, but you had to build a lot of HP 5 to make it work. You had to build
that's really interesting, man. I don't know where it's coming to play, but it's going to come into play.
More of a you're not so much staying and fighting, you're just taking the damage and leaving. And so this one we kind of wanted to reward people for being more aggressive with it.
Oh, it has magical defense on it? Okay.
Make mages hesitate.
That's actually going to be really fun to get.
So if I'm Holy
shit.
And I have this item.
Yeah.
And I heal my teammates.
Yes.
And then get hit by a magical ability.
Yes.
I can then heal my teammates again.
Yes. It's neat. It's fun.
Guan Yu's very happy. Especially because he's got a new skin too. Good timing.
Yeah, I think you can also kind of draw a parallel here to maybe like Breastplate of Valor, where Breastplate of Valor is the physical variant, this is the more magical variant, and it's not a consistent 20% reduction, it's a 10% with a conditional reduction. And so putting it in that kind of frame of context, it pairs really well with it as a potential different choice.
Yeah, they reduced the cost to 2200,
next
dude.
Up is Oni Hunter's Garb. This has had passive now regenerates every 10 seconds in or out of combat, because it used to be just while out of combat, which was kind of a difficult thing to achieve.
Yeah, so out of combat basically meant that if all 3 of your stacks were kind of stopped, you had to be not doing anything for 45 seconds or like 40 seconds. And so what would be weird is, let's say I have an opportunity to poke the god. Well, I don't want to do that because it puts me in combat. Or let's say I want to clear a wave. Well, it puts me in combat. Or I don't want to be doing these certain things. Or maybe I don't want to take archer shots. Or if I take an auto attack, I can't regenerate it. And so it was simply just too hard to actually get the payoff of having the 3 stacks to use.
Yep.
And so now it is just at all times.
It seemed very counterintuitive to the idea of the game, really. Like, don't do anything and get rewarded instead of do something and still get rewarded.
Yeah.
So that's a little change to Oni Hunter's Garb. We're also
so Oni's Hunter Garb will charge its stacks up no matter what. In or out of combat.
Very interesting for Spectral Armor. Now, here's the new passive, boys and girls. You ready? When you activate a relic, you gain Ghost Walking for 4 seconds and can move through enemy players and enemy deployables.
Yep.
What?
So, Ymir Wall?
Yeah. So it's Ymir Wall, your Thor Wall, Odin Wall. Kepri's giant hitbox.
Vulcan turret?
Vulcan turret if you want.
Bacchus
You can walk through Odin all. What
Changa
the fuck?
Changa Bunny doesn't have collision, I'm pretty sure. That was actually an issue when it had collision.
Oh, really?
And it would block things.
Oh.
That was like way back in the day.
But you can still walk through Changa Bunny.
What the fuck?
You still can.
If only she was good.
Yeah, so I think the interesting thing for the
What
Spectral...
the fuck?
Yeah, we'll get there later.
Now, everyone who's stuck in Odin all
when you look at Spectral Armor, it's one unique because it's the first thing that's basically your passive now doesn't anymore. It's it activates on your relic use.
Right.
And so because of that, it's very much controlled as to when you want to use it. Oftentimes where you'd probably want Ghost Walking, you're probably going to want to pop a relic anyway, and so it fits to when you want to use it.
You just fucking heavenly sprint through Odin wall. You're
Ghost
gone.
Walking is kind of unique because while sure it could be used to counter maybe an Odin wall or something like that, we've seen it in some clever ways internally. For example,
such as?
Yeah, so this one is great.
Okay.
Gandhi was playing tier.
Gandhi was playing. Gandhi was playing?
Yes, Gandhi was playing tier.
He was playing?
He used Blink.
Gandhi used a relic?
He used a relic. He used Blink.
Okay.
And then he wanted to hit a mage with it, but there was a giant Sylvanas blocking the way. And
as always,
if he wanted to get the person, he probably would have had to just use his one on Sylvanas and then only hit the other person with the last tick.
Right.
But instead what he did is, because he had Blink and he had this item, he just walked through the Sylvanas and then got onto the carry. And so it's not just so much for the you can walk through walls. So it actually has a lot of gameplay implications of avoiding body blocks, getting through people, getting to the back line, avoiding minions or stuff like that. It's definitely impactful in that way.
It could be very impactful. I think it could be very fun at the same time as it's going to be one of those learning things of like, how did he just walk through me?
Yeah.
Oh, he used a relic. I mean, it's very conditional. You have to have the relic and you have to expend and buy this item, which in some circumstances you're not going to want. Yeah. Which is the big key here, because it gives a lot of armor, it gives a lot of mana as well, and then there's passive. So
that passive is nasty, dude.
Next up is the Emerald.
That's gonna be game changing,
which we've not seen too much of just lately.
Yep.
It's had a gold decrease from 1,430 gold down to 1,300.
Cheaper Emerald Talisman, boys.
Its tier 3 counterpart, Stone of Gaia. Yeah. Also had a gold decrease as well.
100 gold, awesome.
Down to 2,100. Is this just to make them a little bit more tempting?
Yeah, I think the issue we saw with especially some of the other health tree items is it's kind of hard to justify the cost of health early.
It sucks a dick.
Early game is
it sucks dick.
Because especially
it's
early on,
not a good item.
When you're waiting 30 seconds in between minion waves, you're getting a lot of ticks of actually like what HP 5 would be, and so we kind of are lowering the cost there to potentially incentivize maybe an earlier pickup of it because it is potent there. And then once you have that health, once you have that regen, it itemizes well into a lot of the high armor, high magical protection.
I'm not buying that item.
We're just making it a little bit more attractive to see kind of how it falls.
Okay, we're doing quite well on items so far. We've done quite a few this patch. Starter item is the next one. Soulstone is getting,
don't buff it.
To be fair, dramatic buff.
Yeah,
I think dramatic is the correct.
What the fuck?
I think
60 magical power for what
when you
the
look at
fuck?
Soulstone and to what it kind of compared to, you have Vampiric Shroud, which is the direct comparison. And Vampiric Shroud is really safe. You get a lot of health, you get a lot of health regen, you still get a good amount of power. And Soulstone was often being picked up in a lot of cases for the MP5, not so much for the extra damage that you got. Okay. And so its kind of purpose is this like high damage dealing alternative was more of just a different way to get mana regen. And so we're looking to make that choice of spending the mana regen to get power a lot more attractive.
I wonder who's going to pick that up now.
As making it more impactful. It's worth comparing
the power on it.
A tiny trinket, which is 20 power, for a little bit cheaper, and that's 20 power on all your things. So conditional 60 might look strong on paper, but it's only for one ability, and you're trading off the mana for it. So we feel like that
trading off health as well at the start of the game because it doesn't give you any.
Yeah, and so you're not going Vamp Shroud, so you're automatically being more risky, and so you should probably be more rewarded for it.
Okay, well, we'll see how that one works out with the Soulstone. Finally, the last item to get changed this patch
will be
Shift the Shield. And not a change, just a gold reduction. We'll see here from 2,700
actually might get picked up now. It's pretty cheap.
Be quite a bit, to be fair.
That's pretty cheap.
I think that the point here to make is that you have Shifter's Shield, which is an item that previously has been really good because it has a lot of items to support it, but we removed a lot of those support items to where the low kind of protections it gave wasn't enough. And then you also don't really have control as to when you get the power, when you get the protection, so it's not optimal in all scenarios. So we're adjusting the cost down to maybe allow it to enter more builds, be a little bit more viable in terms of an option to choose.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a fun item.
That's item's done.
I don't know if it'll get. I don't know if I'll buy it.
3.6.
I don't think I'll be buying Shifter Shield too much.
On to everyone's favorite time.
God changes.
God balance.
This is the only thing that matters in life.
You brought to me today, Pom Pom.
Well, I think they're in alphabetical order.
Are they exciting?
They are exciting.
They are exciting, and they're alphabetical order too.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You gonna risk it?
I'm gonna risk it.
First up then, let's begin right at the top with the letter Z. I mean A.
Yes.
Agony will first of all get
the fuck
some
are you doing, Agony?
Agony is getting buffed.
Yeah, so I think if we ask a lot of people, they probably say like
base
Agni is
attack
like,
speed.
point of balance.
Yeah,
he's been that way for like 3 seasons, where he's always kind of come in and out. Unfortunately, we're seeing him trend more towards the out right now, more than we'd probably like him to be, and so we're giving him a very small adjustment back because we do think that he is a god that has a lot of utility, a lot of power, and so we don't want to go crazy in terms.
They're making it so his early game auto attacking creeps is better, which is
speed increase.
I don't know.
So it's going to be increased attack speed from 0.86 to 1. However, we did decrease the percentage his attack speed increases per level, but it's still a net gain overall, correct?
Yeah, so by level 20, he's definitely higher. Level 1, he's definitely higher. And this is just to kind of make his passive a little bit easier to stack.
I mean, Raijin technically gets it for just missing, right? And poor Agni's going to hit.
Yeah, when you look at Agni's passive, it actually is really potent.
It's
a 60% scaling passive, if I recall correctly. And so having that ability to stack it a little bit easier, more often having it up when you use an ability, being able to stack it quicker so that your next meteor will actually apply it, is going to give him a lot of extra potency where a chain on a god like this probably wouldn't do too much if it wasn't for that passive.
That might honestly, it might make Agni get played because he can auto attack the way faster and clear level 1. That's the only thing I can think changing.
Apollo. I've not
for that
missed
reason.
Him. I've really not missed him.
No, don't buff Apollo.
But now
Nerf
it looks
Apollo.
like he's going to be back.
Take him out of the
Apollo is
game.
getting some love this
Take him out of the
match.
game.
We'll describe exactly what we're doing first of all, and then Pop Punk can give us all the gory details of why we're doing this one. So beautiful. Reduced mana cost from 70 to 110. It will now be 70 to 90 at max rank in terms of mana. Reduced the cooldown on this ability as well. From 15 scaling down to 11 seconds. It's now 11 seconds flat at all the ranks. Not only that, we're also going to hit across the skies. Instead of being 60 mana per second, it's now going to cost 40 mana per second instead. So mana, mana.
Literally, it's just sustain.
Yes.
They added
so I think
mana sustain.
We made some changes in the past.
Immensely for Apollo.
His crowd control, his protections that he got, a lot of just the utility he brought because he simply brought too much. But kind of with that, his skills felt lackluster in terms of like his So Beautiful, which was 110 mana for something that only did damage in a line and actually scaled off minions. And so by making it reduced cost in terms of cooldown early and reduced cost late game, it's a lot more attractive just to kind of weave in and use.
Once again, I'm not sure that's going to change his problem because his one doesn't clear the wave the same as everyone else's clear.
Sky, a lot of it was a lot of characters would all
people who play Apollo are just gonna like Apollo. That's it. This balance is so fucking weird.
Unless you had Transcendence.
Akasura, no. Aka's
so
next.
This is
what's up, Fluffy Tactics?
That he's more often going to land and be a threat, and kind of encourage that playstyle of choosing to ult into team.
Fuck Apollo. Let's go to Baka.
Golden Bow as well. I think Apollo
go to
will be
Baka.
back in the meta, and we've already seen him already, but I think he'll be even stronger now and picked up even more often. Next up is Fenrir's twin brother. Yes, and also on release. No, I'm joking. Bakasura.
Yeah.
Getting love?
Yeah.
God, we're good. Until you see what it says. Bakasura can now consume any non-buff jungle creature at 100% of its health, including mid-harpies and boars.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I think if you look at
yeah,
you can literally insta-clear a mid-harpy. That's fucking awesome.
He's always kind of been this character who could eat things, secure objectives really well.
Now here's a question for you. Right?
Gold Fury is
It says non-buff. Gold Fury doesn't give a buff.
Gold Fury gives you a buff of gold.
That's not a buff.
Team-wide buff.
I don't see a ring around me. Like when
get a ring of gold.
You don't get a ring of gold, Pom-Pom.
They don't give team-wide gold.
Mid-harpies give gold?
Gold doesn't count.
Gold doesn't count. Okay, so not Gold Fury, guys. I just want to clear that up because it says non-buff, and technically Gold Fury isn't a buff. Gold Fury, Fire Giant do not count. However, if we did it with Fire Giant, that'd be amazing.
Well, Fire Giant definitely has a buff.
Definitely has a buff from Fire Giant.
Yes.
So red and blue buff and the Gold Fury and Fire Giant you cannot consume. However, everything else on the map other than playable
Baka's
characters
fucking problem, though.
Consumed.
Yeah.
Also, am I claiming mid-harpy now? Like,
I don't think so.
These aren't game changing. These aren't gonna bring Baka into the fucking meta, dude.
Just jungle camps.
Oh,
but I think historically, if you look at Baka,
but I can eat a mid-harpy. One mid-harpy now.
And with a lot of the changes, especially with some of like the wording changes have gone through,
maybe you could eat two.
And so
you can just like instant both mid harpies.
Give him a little bit more of an identity of being able to be like, oh, well, I'm going to now eat this mid harpy because we're gonna fight over it, but I'm just gonna eat it.
I'm gonna invade and
that
kill
way,
everybody.
if you really want to fight over one, we can fight over one.
Can he eat the Jade Rabbit? Is that allowed?
No.
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 Poor Poor Chang'e. Oh, what about the Titan? The Titan doesn't give a buff.
This is not the April Fool's patch
The Titan doesn't. You give me that wording of non-buff jungle character. Technically, Titan's
we did not rename this to eat anything.
Okay, well, I mentioned Chang'e twice now, so let's just go on to Chang'e is getting buffed this patch.
Yeah, Chang'e's seeing a slight adjustment. So I think if we
before we explain what it is, why?
Yeah, so I think if we look at Chang'e, she actually does well in a lot of the other modes, and a lot of that is because when she is leveled up and when she has some items online, she's actually very, very potent.
You can't insta-steal buff camps. You can't insta-kill camps that give you a buff. Red and blue buff can't be stolen. That's literally what they just went over talking for 20 minutes.
But Chang'e, kind of in Conquest, had an issue where she couldn't really soul lane too well. She had a few bad matchups. Mid lane, she couldn't really do too well. She couldn't support, and so it kind of felt weird to ever pick her. And so we're choosing to up the base damage of her Moonflower Dance and base healing of her Moonflower Dance so that when she does build the item, she isn't scaling out of control, but this does help her early game pretty significally.
So for you guys at home to see this as well on your screen now, healing increased from 40 to 120 is now 50 to 130, so an additional 10 at each rank of the heal, and the damage of that is from 50 to 150 is now 65, so 65.
Okay, the damage increase is actually decent.
15 per...
Yeah, 15 per fucking thing on like a 5-second cooldown is pretty nasty.
So she should be able to sustain herself a little bit better, compete a little bit more in terms of clear, and then hopefully get through that.
We might actually see Chang'e picked a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what the massive.
Poor Chiron again. We're nerfing him again.
Yeah, I think
this poor horse.
That was pretty significant.
This poor horse. First of all, we nerf him so he doesn't cripple. Then we also hit his healing.
Yeah.
And he's a horse. Then we hurt his movement, and he's a horse.
Yeah.
And his ultimate.
Yeah.
And now we fixed a tooltip error. No,
not tooltip error.
We fixed an end of match lobby sound error, playing while muted.
Yeah, so if you muted, he is now properly muted.
Literally unplayable now he is.
Poor horse.
You've put him in the ground. He's dog food. That's what he is right about now. Next up is Hell, as you can see on your screen. Considering we buff Chang'e, we might as well buff some other healers too. Hell has had a nice little change this patch, not in terms of her healing or her damage output. No, it's going to be her supportive actions. Hinder, the slow has increased from 5 to 25% it's now 2 10%.
Oh man, that CC immunity is fucking nasty.
On a CC, instead of scaling all the way up to 1.25 seconds, it's now 1.25 seconds flat.
Yep. So I think if we've looked at
they
Hell,
actually buffed.
It's worth noting that we didn't adjust any damage or healing.
I think that's pretty good.
She often heals too much and it becomes frustrating. Instead, we're kind of focusing on the aspects of her kit that is much more utility based, specifically cleanse. Why the Hinder got a little bit of a buff. That's more to make it so that the early rank in it, the 10%.
You just gotta get rank 1 on your 2 and you're good to go for the whole fucking game, man.
But this one, having that
cleanse is huge. Oh, don't nerf Odin. Odin's fun, man. You just give him a skin.
The cleanse part of it has a cast time and then went to 0.5 at rank 1, which was hard to use. It was hard to use effectively.
Everything.
Hard to save teammates with it because the timing was kind of awkward. And so now it's 1.25 at all ranks, which gives her a nice boost to survivability if she gets in light stance and gets it off.
Don't nerf Odin, bitches.
More reliability in terms of helping her
teammates
stay alive.
And to be fair, like you need a 1.1 wonder on most of the gods. Pretty much every god has one. This is Hell's now. So 1.1, you don't need to invest so much into it. Next up is Odin. He's getting some more buff to go with the panda. His cooldown has gone up from 4 seconds to 75 seconds.
Yeah, he's at 75 seconds now.
75 seconds, guys. He asked for it. We gave
not game changing. Still strong.
His ultimate cooldown.
Yeah,
still
finally.
Strong.
So I think the thing here is we want to watch Odin very carefully.
That's smart though. It's a good change.
He's had like small adjustments here and there.
Not gonna break him.
Changed him pretty drastically, and so we want to approach him a little bit more carefully. Where Ring of Spears, it's up 15 seconds. There's obviously a big nerf. It's going to be happening less. As well as we did release a new item that allows you to walk through player deployables, and so we kind of want to see how that all plays out. We may look to him in the future if he still is very potent, but we do have our eyes on him. This is an adjustment to try and bring him a little bit more into line.
Starting adjustments for Odin. Next up on the list, we're going to whip through these a
little bit. Odin was good for like a day, and they already nerfed him, man.
Oh man, yeah, we've been talking.
We might just have to skip the god. Like, I guess that's Scylla, next up on the list. Scylla getting some love this patch. Sikkim, going to have an increased magical scaling from 60% to 75%, as well as Crush, increased damage from 90 to 290. Now goes 90 to 310, so a late game on the Crush.
Yeah.
Why buff late game? Scylla's problem is early game. What the fuck?
So she did enough damage as it was.
So Scylla is very much a late game god. Everything about her skill set kind of says that. She gets things at rank 5. When she maxes a skill, she gets bonus power. Her ultimate resets, which is a very good late game, like I can pick 2-3 people off very quickly. but her payoff for getting that late game often was enough, and a lot of the kind of early mid-game gods actually competed pretty directly with her. And so we wanted to make her end game feel a little bit more impactful with the Sikkim, and then also help her bridge into that late game with her Crush, which is generally her max skill, being a little bit more potent in the early mid, so that she has a little bit more staying power and fighting power, so she doesn't get shut out early too hard.
Okay. Next up is Sol. Second to last one, guys. Next up is Sol, and Sol is going to be a little bit of a fix with Stellar Burst here. There was a bit of an issue.
Yeah, so there was an issue if you got stunned or incorporeal.
Incorporeal.
Yes, there we go. We got it.
It's okay. I'll help you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I wonder why you didn't read that tooltip.
Because I've said it wrong many times.
Anyways, fix the issue with it, so now it won't go on cooldown when it shouldn't be going on cooldown.
VEW. And finally, the last god to be balanced in the 3.6 patch
Nerf
is going to be Sylvanas. Sylvanas is getting some love this patch round, and it's going to be Nature's Grasp is going to get a little change to it. Reduced cooldown from 26 to 18 seconds. It now goes from 22 seconds down to 18 seconds, so an early game buff in the cooldown department, as well as the mana cost went from 70 to 90.
That's a pull, dude.
70 to 50.
Holy crap, it's on such a short cooldown.
Yeah, I think when you look to Sylvanas, he's kind of had this old playstyle where he was just a pusher.
I don't want to play against Sylvanas, dude.
A lot of that because it was often too hard to play against.
It pulls on such a short, like, it used to be 30 seconds. Now it's at 22 base.
Nature's Grasp actually is a very good tool early to pull people into minions, and then late game it was kind of hard to use because it was so
early game
expensive. And so now
that buffs his early game. Like his early game is actually pretty strong as it is because he gets pushed. It's gonna buff the early game even harder, like kill potential.
Really make it something that they want to be throwing out more consistently rather than trying to conserve it.
Makes sense. Well, we'll see if that impacts Sylvanas enough. But
new
for
god,
now,
boys.
That's the end of items. That's the end
the new
of
god
balance. That's the end of skins. And with that, we'll see you all with Jingwei coming on your screen right about now. Yes, the latest champion is here. Or I should say God, that was my paladin speech. The Chinese, yes, hunter, Chinese hunter is going to be coming at you in this latest patch. You may have had a little sneaky peek at it once or twice during the live game. However, this is the official hunter of it, where you get to see the abilities in all its and her glory. I'm excited to be doing this, and there you can see we've got a man joining us in the background. Ajax is here, the actual designer for Jingwei.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
And this is your third god this time
got
around?
It. Yeah, Amaterasu, then Scotty, now Jingwei.
Look at this guy. He
it is
great
Scotty, you
good times,
fucker.
And now we should have another
You're
one.
the reason I hate Scotty.
First of all, talk to me a
OPS,
little about
fucking
what
god.
Jingwei is. Tell me something about the lore, because I don't know too much about the Chinese lore too much. So.
Yeah, well, Jingwei is an easy one. Her lore and her story is pretty simple. Her father is an emperor who's in charge of keeping track of the sun rising and falling. He ventures out into the ocean to take care of his sun duties every day. And she travels out there and likes to play in the ocean. Okay. Except one day she drowns. She doesn't make it back from the ocean.
How is she a god then?
Well, we're getting there now.
I'm confused now.
So when she drowns, she's actually reincarnated in her bird form with wings and all of her wonderful splendor. So
I see.
And then she devotes the rest of her existence, which turns out to be eternal, to filling up the Eastern Sea.
What the fuck?
Filling up the Eastern Sea with what?
Right. Well, sticks and rocks mostly.
She doesn't seem very intelligent.
Right. Well,
what the fuck was that ability? Was
it does sound a little bit like that, but there's a moral to the story, and that is that Jingwei never gives up. She never surrenders. She even though has hardship happen to her, she makes a comeback.
Okay.
She continues on this quest infinitely and without ever surrendering.
Honestly, my moral of that story was if you drown, you're useless. That's what I kind of found out about, to be fair. And here we go. We're in game, and already I can see chat is already exploding about the passive.
So let's talk about her abilities.
What is that?
As amazing as her lore is, let's look at some abilities. So Jingwei, as a small-sized and winged hunter, she's got a lot of mobility. She's going to have a lot of aerial themes going on. So the first thing that Pond is showing you here is her passive, the rapid reincarnation.
What?
It lasts for 5 seconds, correct?
Yes. Anytime she leaves the well, on any game mode, she gets to fly into the air for 5 seconds.
May God have mercy on all our souls.
There is a timer in the passive meter as well as on her targeting reticle, similar to the Alquang and Apollo and Thor.
You can't tell me that's not fucking insane.
So you can see how much time you have left.
You can get across the whole map on Arena.
And the passive meter is also there to remind you as well that when you've activated,
if you can get across the whole map on Arena, you can easily get to the first tower in your lane.
The well is the moment,
like the first tier tower.
There's a brief
that's like almost Gold Fury status,
warming up when you leave the well, and then you take off.
Right, and then you fly around for 5 seconds. Doesn't cost any mana.
It does not.
And you get a really good bird's eye view of the map around you too.
Correct.
So that's going to be an interesting one.
Fuck?
That's a little look at the reincarnation. First of all, can we have a little look at the auto attacks as well? Because obviously she's a hunter, so what's her weapon?
Yeah, sure. She uses a crossbow. I have a very cool, large crossbow.
How many abilities?
You know, mystic flame kind of fireballs with this blue fire on her.
Very pretty. She looks like a very, very nice model draw. Could we look at the front of her as well, Pom Pom, before we go for the other ones?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep, so here you go.
Okay.
There's the front of the model.
Cool.
Very cute Jingwei, ready to enter the battlefield of the gods and fly over everybody.
Very pretty. Okay, enough of looking at prettiness. I care about abilities now because already...
Yeah, show me the fucking abilities, dude.
We're going to see exactly what the first ability is, which is called Persistent Gust.
Right.
Now, something about this ability tells me it's something to do with wind, and it's going to persist.
Right.
Am I on the right sort of idea here, Ajax?
You are quite astute there, Hindu man.
I feel it sometimes. You know?
Almost a designer yourself,
Just
right?
leave.
Wow, please, no, stop.
Okay.
Stop. I blush.
All right, all right. Well, you know, the bird theme, the aerial theme, and her persistence theme, she has this ranged area effect attack that she creates a gust in a certain area, and this gust persists for 6 seconds. What it does is it does large damage right when it's deployed. As soon as that big explosion happens, similar to the
It knocks him out too.
Target attack.
It's like a free auto.
And then it continues to stay there, dealing small damage over time.
But she could jump on it.
And it knocks up enemy gods,
Yo,
and it
she used it
also
as a
will
getaway.
knock Jingwei
What the
into the
fuck?
air.
Not teammates.
Not teammates. It has
Just
no
you.
effects on teammates, only enemies and self. So if Jingwei walks into it, she gets
this is
launched
gonna be
into
fun
the
to
air, and
play.
she also gets a attack speed buff.
Now, when enemies walk into this, from what I understood, and you described it earlier, is that if she uses that on a god, the god leaves the zone, but re-enters it, they'll get knocked up again.
Right.
So while it's down. And that lasts for, how long is it?
It does not knock up minions either. It lasts for 6 seconds.
Oh, it doesn't knock up minions?
No knock up on
I was
the
gonna
minions.
say,
Only
it's
It's
enemy
a
gods.
cooldown.
Right.
So yeah, anytime a god leaves and re-enters it, they will be knocked back up.
Okay.
And the bulk of the damage all happens right when it first appears.
Awesome.
So the interesting reason here, the reason she would want to knock herself up in the air, you would say that seems insane.
It does seem kind of crazy, unless you try to...
I wonder what wheelies can pull if you knock yourself up.
Well,
You can't be attacked.
you're also technically
Unless you're against the
CCing
wheelies.
yourself, so you're ready to get hit by some people,
Think about
which
it.
could be dangerous.
You can avoid damage with it, is what I'm trying to say.
No, she can get hit the entire time.
Well, you can be hit while you're in the air?
Oh yeah, everybody
By
can be
auto
hit
attacks?
up.
Oh.
All of the knockups in Smite, except for the ones that send you really far high in the air, you can be hit the
And that's what I
entire
thought
time.
it was. I thought it was a really far high one that was being classed as, but it's not. So you can
No,
be hit during this.
she is vulnerable as well as
Okay.
enemy gods that are knocked up. That's free for you to shoot them while they're
I was
knocked
going to say,
up. Yeah.
with that passive plus that, she's going to be untargetable for half the game, pretty much.
So the reason we want her to be able to knock herself up, it's not just a little risk reward with that attack speed buff. It's another one of her abilities.
We're not on that ability yet, though, Ajax.
We will. Okay. Well,
Don't
we'll
you
get there.
push
We'll
us
get there.
too far forward, thank
Okay.
you. Let's go to ability 2 first.
All right. Sure. So ability 2, this one works all by itself.
And this ability is part of her core mechanic of being a hunter, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, we had her using this crossbow and hunter. We really wanted to make some cool extra effects with this, where she gets this feel like she's really just lighting up everybody in the battlefield with basic
It's
attacks.
called explosive bolts.
Huge.
Right.
Now, I'm no designer, but I have an idea that this will explode on contact.
There you are again with these crazy predictions. I mean,
I've got
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
we
my naming
damage.
schemes are pretty good.
Did that
Lane
crit? Did
clear,
that crit?
dude.
So, what this does is Jingwei has she has a brief
What the fuck? It's
activation
critting.
time where she loads her crossbow with 3 explosive bolts.
Okay.
The next 3 shots she has count as normal basic attacks. They have all of the properties of a normal basic attack,
With the
including
elite
crits
crits?
and procs, except they are wider and hit in an area of effect. So you can effectively crit multiple players with the same shot, or use your Ikaval or Kinsblades to hit multiple players in the same shot.
May God have mercy on all of them.
It is a relatively small radius, as you can see
What
here.
the
these
Hang on,
guys
hang on,
have
but
to
the
be-
crit's different on each one.
Yes, the crit chance is
Oh,
independent.
thank goodness for that. I was really worried. So, each one of these shots, the
Yo,
crit chance
that's
is independent
crazy.
of the 3
If you are
targets as
grouped
well.
up,
Right, if you hit all
holy
3
shit.
targets, one may crit and the other 2 may not. All
Yo,
3
she's
may
gonna
crit.
be
It could
like
be- it's
potential
it's
for
a different roll for each
massive
guy.
plays
Max
with
the
this
skill
bitch, dude.
investment, you get more crit out of it as well.
Right, so
Part of the
this
kit.
skill, as you rank it up, it gives you a passive crit bonus for those 3 shots. That
Passive
increases as
crit.
you rank up.
Okay,
So she gets a
On
lot of natural
ability.
crit here, lending her towards being
What?
maybe a bit of a crit build hunter.
awesome. And it will help her with a wave clear too, potentially as well.
Yes.
Even, but I guess with Golden Bow, she'll be even better.
Jingwei loves the golden bow, yes.
I can imagine, especially because she's got crit built in as well. More crit is even more enjoyable. Next up is the ability that you really wanted to talk about to do
That is
with
right.
her Persistent Gust. I'm just going to call it Gust. It's so much
That's
easier.
fine, yeah, we can abbreviate.
Is her 3, which is called Agility.
So agility seems like a pretty plain little dash on the ground.
Dash.
The difference is agility is a first move in the game, a first ability in Smite that you can use out of the air.
You what?
So if Jingwei gets ready to use agility in the air, she goes twice as far.
You go further.
Yeah, she goes much further, and she also gains a buff that gives a reduction to the attack speed penalty, similar to Soul's Disapparate, allowing her to shoot. And if any enemies knock her into the air for any reason, she can change her direction with the agility. So if Sobek tries to pluck you into the enemy team, which I guess he's on cooldown, there he is, you can change your mind and go the same direction you were flung twice as far.
Turn around, bitch. I want to see him turn.
You can do a 180 in the air and fly backwards.
My gosh, dude.
Does that work against Hercules too?
It does.
Who else does it work against? I need to know everyone.
Hercules, Bacchus, Sylvanas,
dude. I'm about to jungle this girl all day long.
There's more.
There's loads.
Right.
She's going to be so hard to pin down.
It's relatively, it takes a very good player and a very quick reaction time to use that ability off of an opponent. So then when she has her Gust to allow her to trigger it herself. And using the Gust agility combo is a very strong way to run, chase somebody
should
down,
counter her though,
or to escape.
Right?
But it's
or can she fly out of an Awheelix ult?
It's going to have a large effect.
If she can fly out of an Awheelix ult, I'm done.
Get out of an Awheelix pull with this.
Awheelix will stop you. No, Awheelix is going to pull you.
So Awheelix counters her.
You're not immune while you're dashing. So actually, Awheelix is a great ally for Jingwei because of her Gust,
and a very
good popping people up all the time. And Awheelix is a big counter for Jingwei because she knows she's going to be jumping around. Awheelix can pull you down.
Okay.
Good to know Awheelix counters her
during that animation as
well. Awheelix is actually stops and stuns you for a second in the air, and that's the time when you can beads and you'll fall straight down.
Right.
And Jingwei will work just like every other god in that sense.
Good to check with that one as well. So let's have a look at the agility. Now, obviously, it gives you an attack speed boost. Can we just see that as well, Pompon? Just like after the 3.
Yeah, just strafe around while you're shooting. You see here no reduction in speed while you're shooting for that brief moment. Only if you agility out of the air.
So really, really good players will be able to abuse that to advantage and potentially turn around and burst a backline target, like they were, trying to get away from potentially.
It's really fun for doing that.
Can that go over walls? I just realized that.
No, you cannot.
Whew! I was about to say, I just thinking about things out loud that people
But don't worry, she can go over walls in other ways.
Not her ult. No.
As we're going to get to her ultimate now.
Is it time for the ultimate?
No.
I think it's about time.
My favorite thing about this god, in all the gods I've seen in a long time, Ajax is my favorite one. You know why?
Why?
Because I can understand the abilities just by the name.
That is, I mean, thank you for that. I really appreciate
that. As a caster, that's an important factor of my daily life. Airstrike!
Oh, and there's Pon jumping the gun on the airstrike.
And you got to see it.
So, Jingwei has an airstrike ability. What she does is she channels on the ground briefly.
What?
This is the area of effect that it's going to hit.
Okay.
She stays in the air.
Straight up.
And it hovers.
And forward, shooting everybody below her. This damage works a lot like a Kukulkan or Hebo ult, where it's moving forward. It does not work like Souls. It's not going to hit you multiple times.
Right, it just hits once.
It's going to hit you once, no matter how you're moving inside of it.
Okay, so if I dash forward as she's dashing at the same time, I'm not going to hit twice, just once.
And then she's got 2 seconds at the end where she can choose where to land.
And how far is the landing zone there? Can we see? Is it a big area?
The landing zone is relatively small. You know, it's already got a big dash on the damage. We don't want it continuing to fly away too far.
Okay.
So this ability is really flexible. It's really fun to use for a gank. You can use it over walls as you infiltrate a mid lane. It's pretty good for escaping too. It's pretty fun to gust into agility into someone's backline and then turn around and ult back over the enemy team towards your team. Lots of flexibility there.
This god seems amazing.
And, you know, she has the wings, she has the flight. It seemed absurd to not put her in the air on the ultimate.
No, I completely understand it. So what kind of build would you be looking at with her then? Would you expect crit?
Right. I've been generally going the standard hunter start with, like, boots or golden bow, boots, and Aussie or Ikaval, and then moving into end game, lots of at least 3 crit items. Sometimes selling my earlier golden bow for an even stronger one like Deathbringer or Malice.
Awesome. She looks amazing right now. Is there anything else that we've missed that you need to go over? Because if not, we can ask them some questions and see if they've got any.
Yeah, we'll do some VGS. Do hear her voice a little bit. Just do some simple ones, some attack and defense too. Just we can. She has a very fun Wii.
Some people in the chat say new waifu.
Attack right lane.
Her voice pack isn't very
really
unique.
Happy with how her voice turned out. It's a lot of fun.
You'll never keep up with me. I'll win, even if this battle lasts for years. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words cause permanent emotional damage.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Someone asked about Kumba Corner ult. I'm guessing Kumba ult will work against her. She can't dash out of that.
Correct. Yeah. Kumba and Neja, those are special case scenarios. Right. They don't count as a normal knock-up. You're not gonna be able to do agility out of those.
Okay. Questions in chat if you got them.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to play her, dude. I'm about to be on the fucking PTS with a controller playing this bitch.
Green and orange pattern.
It's a little bit like Apollo's new tier 2 skin as well.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I like the green. It reminds me of Seafoam. The card art for this one is amazing.
It reminds me of grass, which reminds me of pandas, which reminds me of Odin.
That skin is amazing.
It is.
I was so glad that we finally got to show it off. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, I'm trying to reach out, but it's going a million miles.
I know it is going super. How soon will she be getting her nerf?
Good. Well, you can answer that one.
Yeah, you know.
I was going to choose that question, but
Pon can attest to this, that just a week or so ago, she was